Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're putting on our hard hats as risk architects to take a really rigorous analytical look at a real-world school crisis. We're talking about a severe physical bullying incident at a residential school. Together, we're going to explore exactly how to transform institutional vulnerabilities into a legally sound operational fortress. The ultimate goal? Insulating educators from liability while keeping our students absolutely safe. Here is the roadmap for our audit today. We'll be moving through 6 critical phases, starting with a foundation, patching up past legal breaches, and ending with a bulletproof 3-phase risk mitigation framework. Let's get right into it. Section 1, Audit Context and Legal Breaches. We begin our systemic correction by frankly assessing the structural failures that actually led to this crisis. Now, you might be wondering, what happens legally when a student gets hurt inside a dormitory? Well, it triggers massive legal implications under the Education Act 1996 and the Child Act 2001. For a residential school, the duty of care, known legally as in loco parentis, is literally a 24/7 job. This isn't just some legal buzzword. It demands active, constant prevention. Think about it. If a 40-minute assault occurs entirely undetected, the school has completely failed this standard. But beyond physical safety, there's procedural safety. When it comes time to discipline the perpetrators, the institution must observe audi alterum partem, which basically means the right to a fair hearing. Strictly adhering to this procedural fairness is absolutely crucial. Why? Because it ensures that any severe disciplinary action we take, like an expulsion, is totally immune from being challenged in the courts later on. Moving on to Section 2, the updated SOP blueprint. It's time to insulate the institution. To truly shield the institution from civil negligence lawsuits, we've got to close the gap between what the law says and what actually happens in the hallways. Our blueprint maps those past failures directly to systemic corrections. For instance, to stop ultra-virus actions, staff acting beyond their legal power, we require strict written delegation of punitive powers. To fix noncompliance with ministry circulars or SPIs, it mandates 24-hour registration in the SSDM system and puts tight controls on corporal punishment. And to combat negligence, we are enforcing strictly audited 24/7 hostile supervision logs. The crucial takeaway here is that this duty of care, it's settled law. As clearly established by the federal court, having rules written on paper simply isn't enough. If our supervision is lacking and that directly causes a student's injury, the institution is held liable, period. Which brings us to Section 3, our hierarchical discipline operation model. Let's look at the new command chain. This hierarchy is literally the backbone of our operation. It's vital to prevent staff from accidentally overstepping their legal limits. Tier 1 is purely operational. Classroom and duty teachers are there to stop the incident, arrange medical help, preserve evidence, and submit a report within 2 hours. Tier 2 involves the school principal, who actually holds the statutory authority to issue show cause notices and conduct formal hearings. Finally, Tier 3 is the board, PPD, or JPN. They provide high-level oversight and defense for serious sanctions like expulsion. By doing this, everyone stays safely in their legal lane. According to official Ministry of Education directives, following the established standard operating procedure, specifically the SPII SOP 137 flowchart, is absolutely mandatory. You cannot skip steps here. Skipping things like timelines for police notifications or SSDM logging, that is exactly what opens the door to judicial reviews of our disciplinary actions. We definitely want to avoid that. Let's dive into Section 4, which kicks off our 3-phase framework. Phase 1, proactive prevention. Deploying a rock-solid defensive perimeter really begins with engineering an environment where crises are smothered before they even have a chance to spark. Now, these aren't just polite administrative suggestions. They are the proactive, highly auditable steps we require to prove we didn't breach our duty of care. We're talking about conducting monthly hostile safety audits, fixing blind spots with better lighting and CCTV, launching anonymous digital reporting channels, and, this is a big one, empowering all staff with biannual legal literacy workshops on the Education Act and Child Act. They need to know the law before a crisis ever hits. Next up is Section 5, Phase 2, Rapid Crisis Containment. But, what happens if our perimeter is breached? Well, priority immediately shifts to rapid containment. This strict timeline is your operational shield. Hour 0, immediate separation of the students and emergency medical triage. Under 2 hours, preliminary written reports must be submitted by duty staff. Under 4 hours, rapid notification to parents and the police. And within 24 hours, mandatory registration in the SSDM. acting within these incredibly precise hourly windows preserves the chain of custody and drastically reduces any negligence exposure. Finally, Section 6, Phase 3, Legal Defensibility and Recovery. This final phase is all about the aftermath. Compiling what we call a legal defensibility dossier is honestly what separates a vulnerable school from a legally fortified one. This dossier requires auditable patrol logs, SSDM records, and verbatim transcribed hearing minutes to unequivocally prove that natural justice was served. And crucially, real recovery means mandating psychological counseling for both the victims and the perpetrators, plus conducting systemic after-action reviews to permanently close any structural gaps. So, I want to leave you with this final overarching thought. Is our ultimate goal here merely to win civil lawsuits, or is it to truly honor the spirit of in loco parentis and guarantee the absolute safety of the children entrusted to our care? By understanding and architecting this legally sound blueprint, institutions do far more than just protect themselves from liability. They ensure a safe, thriving environment where every single student can succeed. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.